So hello back to mini proposal workshop test run. And today we are gonna go into a few other chapters, 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe 8, depends how the time allows us. And there are some information I pulled again from proposals to speed up our activities or compare. From the last session, quickly, we have a problem statement which shows less than half of funded proposals do not finish based on proposal roadmap. And we chose a solution, create educational resources and coordinate workshops to help proposers to write well-planned proposals. And we did a small run on ideating on proposal titles, and we so far kept us in the mini proposal workshops. But if you remember, then titles are something whenever some new idea comes up, you can always add more names and choose the final name once the full ideation is completed. So when we go into team roles, so I'm gonna have a clip there. In chapter 4, we talk about team roles, and our first goal is to select or create relevant roles to proposal, and then we start filling a table. So, and in the table, we're gonna find values like reason why this role is selected, expected experience or qualification for this role. Then if you already have an existing team or have few members in a team who have these experiences or qualifications, drop down the accountable person name and share the related experience and provide a proof like a LinkedIn or previous proposals or anything what can work as a proof. And when you choose a reason, focus on experience that is relevant to your proposal, and not so that if you have a role who is a project manager, but the reason is you need artwork for your proposals, then this is not really a valid reason. So try to keep them in the same line, like the focus is there. There are guiding information. I added, for example, LinkedIn job description templates. So if we can, in the exercise, we're gonna go skim through some of the names there. And if we need more details, we can find how the LinkedIn has explained what are the relevant experiences expected from that role. And that could help us increase and speed up the information collection. And if you're planning to recruit additional team members, please state what specific skills you will be looking for in the people you recruit. So readers can see that you understand what skills will be needed to complete this project. So in this case, in a case that you need a proofwriter or somebody who is able to write very well, but you yourself don't know any person who can do that, then you still are capable of doing the proposal where you just budget it in that this is something another role cannot do, and find the required skills. And if it's clear enough, then it's for voters and assessors, it's much easier to assess how feasible is that you will find a person like that. And yeah, list your team and state what aspect of proposals work each person will undertake. This will help to, if you segue each person activities into more different roles and their experiences, it will be much easier to assess the feasibility of what the team is going to do. And finally, once we have ideated on all the roles, their qualification, expectations, reasons, and we have added some teams, then we do the summarizing, and that summarization can be used also on the top of the proposal if that still exists there.
Okay, Tivo, I want to find out, is it only...
Oh, you muted yourself.
Is it only the person's social media handle, let's say LinkedIn, that is going to prove the person's capabilities? Because me, for instance, when you look at my social media handles, I've not really put a lot of things I do there. So, if the person says like, this is part of my team and this is his background, blah, 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 and he doesn't put in any social media handle there, does it mean the person, or you still need... What I want to do is, apart from the social media handle, what else proof do you need? Otherwise, it means that everybody should upgrade your social media handle. Is that what we are saying here? I don't know whether I'm clear.
Yeah, for in here, this information is directly from the proposal guide. So provide links to external resources, and it doesn't have to be social link. I think for most of our funded proposals, we didn't even have social links. So, but the proof is nice, like social link, which gives the information that the person is real and contactable. But yeah, if you don't have an email, LinkedIn, any of these stuff, then another thing I have noticed is people use and made the pictures of their qualifications, like when they get some certificate from school, or yeah, basically some kind of certification. I have seen pictures of that. Otherwise, another proof of experience is actually when one of the person in team has a social media and is like a representative figure, and they write about the team member, what he's going to do, what his skills are, and that for some this is enough of a proof. And so it's always hard to kind of assess what is the right value of what is the required amount of proof you need. And I think it depends on the asked, on the problem you're tackling, the funding size, and the overall team structure.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, let's then get to ideating. So our proposal was about, so less than half of funded proposals do not finish based on proposal roadmap. Here, yeah, I guess here is no roads hidden here. Create educational resources and coordinate workshops. So we need somebody who is a coordinator. Then create educational resources. This means we basically, let's say we have a product developer also, and our product is the workshop itself, or like the resources, workshop resources. Then, of course, I wonder if the project manager and coordinator are going to be the same thing. What should you guys think? If not, I guess if you question, we can put it in here.
What about if one person has many roles?
Oh, that's not the problem. Okay, in that case, yeah, I guess this uncountable person, we can just have multiple names here and then multiple relevant experiences, or maybe even similar experiences. So yeah, you can iterate on that. Right now, I'm just wondering if we just take roles and then once we have selected all the roles, we can start reasoning, or what you think maybe we should do a role and reason right away, so that when we start finding duplicates.
Let's do the second one.
Okay, let's do it. So what the reason why we need a coordinator? So we have clearly said that coordinate workshop. So someone who will help find proposers who are interested in the proposal workshops. And then he finds them, and then he also gathers information and helps to set the time with the educator. Okay, so we already created a new role, educator. And let's put it here. The second stage. So then why we need educator is that helps to digest the workshop and educational resources, and I guess they also help to facilitate the online session. And now we already mentioned about the product. Yeah, let's not call it product, although it's confusing. Let's just call it what I said, workshop. Educational resources. Resource developer. I don't know, is it the right word to say developer?
You mean the person who makes the study material?
Yep. Exactly.
I think so.
Or we say educational resource creator. More. No. Is it development or creator? Okay, we can actually use both tools over there. And why this role is needed? Helps to make education, but basically it's the same thing. Helps to digest, helps to make education. No, actually.
He makes the frameworks.
Yeah, but why is it needed?
Well, for the project to be able to flow.
Yeah.
He's supposed to coordinate the flow of the project, or?
Yeah. that will be I guess both the okay, so I would say that the educator makes the project able to flow, but actually both of them are. So yeah, let's just add both of them. But the difference here is that the one who's doing the framework, he makes them, yeah, they're just, because this education resource creator or developer creates content for educator.
Yep.
And helps to digest. I guess that's a good running. Project manager, what he can do. Helps to coordinate team members and
Also make sure that all the tasks are done.
And by the tasks, what do we have as a task?
The roles that everyone has to do.
Helps to keep track of role activities and their status. Like this?
Yep.
Okay. Do we want to differentiate product designer and educational resource? Okay, I'm just gonna remove the developers. Too mouthful. So, because as you can see, there are not much of eyesight here. But yeah, okay, perhaps if not product designer, but we still would need some kind of we have Kaue who helps with the thumbnails and video stuff, so it's still I don't even know what is. We just call it designer.
Does he design anything else besides thumbnails?
Sure, invitation messages, like when you send out them, like eye-catching stuff. The question is, do we need it? You were about to say something up here?
No, I was asking that the designer, what will be the role? But I think you clarified.
Yeah. Community manager. Do we need community managers? Oh, we're gonna get.
Steve, I think that some of these roles will also go with the sort of project you are writing. Like you're asking, would you need community managers? Depending the type of project that you are doing, you may not, or you may need them. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's a good point. So in our case, we are creating educational resources, we coordinate workshops, and help proposers write well-planned proposals. Do we want to have a community of the people who are writing well-planned proposals? Actually,
okay. Okay, in that case, we need a community manager.
Yeah, but the question is, do we want to do that? And I would actually say that for this reason of scope, like, yeah.
Yeah, depending on the scope, we might need community managers, because if it's a large scope, then we might need community managers to manage specific communities, if I may say that.
Yeah. I would right now actually remove it and not use it to like first, let's get the workshop which everybody starts using, and they are like, they feel
comfortable.
Yeah, like the community has to self-emerge somewhat. Like there has to be like some kind of spark that, hey, this is going great, let's do more of this together. And now you will get the signal of, okay, let's start having a community here and community managers. I think if you put it right now into proposals, then we're kind of forcing things which is not there yet. Although it may be good, but yeah, the capacity and requirements will just get so much harder. So yeah, gonna keep it like that. Let's check over. Please provide details of people who will work on the project. Here is something we put down before to the proposal. So feedback, organizes feedback. So organizer, I guess that is basically a coordinator, improves process and makes it more inclusive and helpful experience. That's basically an educator. Make sure all the tasks are completed. Project management guides the method in direction where the most value assigned. Educator adds value. Then we have marketing. Marketing. Is a coordinator and marketing the same thing? So when the coordinator we chose
marketing is the person making your project or your work known. He's going to make noise about whatever you are doing for people to know and buy into it. And the coordinator is somebody who sees everything is going the right direction. So I don't think the role of a marketing and a coordinator is the same. The coordinator can also do some marketing, but a marketer might not be in the position do coordination of a project, the whole coordination of a project.
Uses the created resources to make project more visible on many different channels. Okay. So basically, yeah, this is all the output we get, and marketer, I guess, is the one who pulls that information in and says, okay, this is good thing, I'm gonna share it here, and it's just basically an outreach guy, as I understood.
Yeah.
But does marketing have to involve money?
Yes, it depends on if you are just posting it there, like on any social media handle, like LinkedIn, Twitter, and all those things. If you are just posting it there, fine. But then if you really need to get a target number of people, then you have to boost it. And that involves money.
Okay, so we're thinking like all of these roles who get here, they will get the slice of the proposal finances, and you were wondering how much, right? Yeah, that it will be the last chapter where we start doing proposal costs and deliveries, and there, yeah, we basically scope it down. Like, do you want to blast it everywhere, Twitter, like, or we gonna keep it slow or like small in a sense that, because it's still gonna involve time. Somebody has to take time to do craft the message and send the message out, and I think all of them will be rewarded. Outreach, video tagging, communications, and finally chaptering the video, updating distribution, so video editing. So basically another content creation. So one is educational. So I think even the video creation now goes under here. Helps to create video material. educational video material. Or would you put it, why can't I, under a different role, like a video editor?
I would put it on its own category. Because I'm jumping ahead here, but you are the resource creator. I'm just making the videos after.
Yeah, but from one, but then again, you created new content, even though you get like a 3-hour video, but you get like 4 or 5 videos out of that. So it's a new content which doesn't exist before. But I guess if we put it out separately, then it has more emphasis that this is a needed role, I would say. Where if you clump it together with education resource creator, and then it's if it's separate, it's actually it's easier to manage and like articulate the requirements of that.
Yep.
Righty then. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I can. Then another exercise, I thought, let's go through, skim through LinkedIn options and see if there's something here we would need. And I'll make the device. So, do we need any accountants in the team? Or technically, yes. Technically, yes. Every team needs an accountant because this is a proposal and it's not pre-work. So what does accountant do? Make sure resources are distributed fairly. Anybody has objections?
No.
Nope.
Okay. I noticed administrative assistant. I guess in that case, we can put it as same as a project manager. And basically, it's because it's also already doing an administrative task, like helps to keep track of role. Analyst comes through here. As an educational resource creator, I know I will, the way I do it, like I analyze, like, did it work? I look after the videos, I look the feedback, and then I act accordingly. And basically, this is analyzing work, but it's also, it could be part of educational resource content creation. So any thoughts here? Should we have another role, or we keep it under this one?
Another role for what exactly?
And analyst.
Analyst.
So, yeah. Why hire analyst? Interpret data and analyze results using analytic research and statistics. So basically, looking at the results of what people did and what we all did together and how well this framework fitted. And then basically crafting and what you learned output. And also develop and implement data analysis. So how do we even measure how successful? And now the more I read it, I guess we need it.
We need
it.
Because just an educational resource creator cannot do all of that. Oh, that even gave me the link. Cool. and why do we need analysts? So basically, yeah, helps to measure and craft a constructive feedback how to improve what are we improving? Educational resources, right? Educational resources.
Yep.
So yeah, so basically educational resource creator can be anybody. It can just be a new teacher is coming in. Hey, I have this course, this chapter. I really want to tell you how important these like sustainable developer calls. And he has the material, but the analyst could be a different person who looks how this workshop went and then give feedback to that resource creator. Do we want anesthesiologist? I don't know who is that, probably not. Architect. I guess the educational resource creator is a bit of an architect in this particular case. Could be a different person, but I think in this case, that's no point to go in that detail.
Yeah, and then some of them, their jobs may overlap. So depending on the size of your project, you can merge some of them there. So maybe we can put that clause there. We can merge some of them, their responsibilities, because the analyst might be able to do some of what the other guy is supposed to do. So
yeah,
unless the data is too big and then he has such little time, so then it means that that's the sole purpose of what he's supposed to do. So maybe we can put a clause in there that's depending on your project or the size of the project, all those people can come on board. I don't know.
Yeah,
whether what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely does. But in the exercise here, I think, like, yeah, this can go many ways. My assumption is that the more roles we get, the more detailed and thought through the proposal will be, because it doesn't mean that each role is a separate person. It could be one person is doing all of that. In many cases, it can be, but then it's like, but having like a somewhat, of course, you don't want to go overboard with all the roles, but what it gives you is it gives you the ability to, maybe a bad word, but to decentralize your project, so that everybody who tries to help you, and if you give them, like, let's say you are only one person working on this project, and you separate out yourself in the different roles, like, yeah, I'm doing education, I'm doing designing, I'm doing marketing, and then somebody can come in and say, actually, you don't have to do marketing. I have several experience. I know how to do it fast. So let me take it off from you. And now that one person has to do one thing less, and there is one more team member in the team who takes just one role. But yes, like a lot of that can overlap. And this is what we're looking at, like, for example, architect and educational. So in this case, they are like overlapping, and we don't have to put that in. But for example, in the case of video editor and education, both of them are basically creating content, educational content, but we separated out here because we actually got the clear distinction who is the actual editor here in this group. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So assistant manager, bank teller, big data engineer, biotech business analyst, chief, a lot of chief stuff, computer consultant. I guess coordinator and consultant is the same thing.
Yeah.
And educator. So I mean, controller, copywriter. This gives a new opportunity to go through. Do we want to also write proposals to others? So we not just help proposals to write well-planned proposals. Well, actually, we are writing. What we actually doing, help proposers ideate well-planned proposals. But if you choose to write, then we would need a copywriter too. I assume the copywriter means that you're able to write well. Yep.
That's kind of a different proposal we have.
Yeah, but we can put it all together to a massive. But this is a good point here. Now I'm gonna put the purple sticky. So everybody who's watching, don't be afraid to step out of your boundaries when using this framework. The only thing what chapters do is just trying to help you get ideas on the board. So writing assumes ready proposals. Miro board workshops help to ideate, but not write proposals. Hello, Kauen.
Hey.
But in that case, if we go
Hello, good morning.
on,
Just saying hello. Sorry to interrupt.
oh, don't worry about it.
Hello, you're welcome.
We are smack in middle of doing chapter 4, team roles. And right now I have split my screen between LinkedIn suggestions and the roles table. And so now we thought that, hey, this proposal workshop could need a role of copywriter, someone who, and reason why this role is needed, helps to write proposal draft or submission. So once you go through the educational resources, you go through all of these elements, there's another person who now takes all these sticky notes and turns into an actual proposal which can be used. Creative director, data analyst, data engineer, dental, dentist, designer we put, driver, doctor. Do we need a doctor? Just in case, mental health doctor.
Mental health.
Engineer, executive, finance, financial, food, front end, fundraiser. I guess the marketing, that's an interesting. That fundraiser role could mean that basically coordinator gets people in, then they get interested in this workshop, then they get out proposal ideation, which then turns into proposal by copywriter. And if we add in fundraiser, this could help to actually get the proposal financed, like good assessments, and probably not, because one thing to note, I see where this proposal workshop is now starting to slowly deviate from Catalyst, is that there are so many different innovation funds in the world and the Catalyst not only the one. So fundraiser could be a person who helps to make sure that the proposals fit to different platforms and different behind different investors. But then again,
yeah, exactly. The fundraiser, it's somebody who makes sure that we put in proposals that can get funded across different platforms. Yes, Catalyst, now we are doing Catalyst. So yes, make sure that the proposal that we are writing will be able to get funded. But then he can also nose out other platforms or environments where we can put our proposal to get funded. So yeah, that would be the role of a fundraiser.
I added it in the selection list because I think it's very good example. But in our case, I think let's not add it in again. Like it is something what we are probably capable of doing, but it then turns out of scope because the problem we are tackling is that the funded proposals do not finish their proposals. And right now, I think that fundraiser role would mean that, yes, we might get more people funded in different places, but it doesn't actually, the rest of the stuff is what works on actually getting the problem solved. This solves the problem of like diversifying and or scaling the idea to wider audience. Or somebody disagrees me. Okay, let's see what we else have. Graphic designer, IT stuff, legal, loan, legal. Yeah. I guess it would be nice to have a legal role here, or a lawyer, but I guess then this missing that role will simply reduce our ability to do different proposals, like very legal or related proposals. And I think that's not a real issue. Marketing, mechanic, medical, networking, nurse, office, optimist, packer. What the heck is packer? Packages, products. Okay. Cool. Optometrist, orthometrist, get groomer, pharmacy, recruiter. Oh, recruiter. Yeah, this is again something for scaling. Psychologist. Sales, software, stocker, welder, treasurer, tax, teacher we have. Basically, yeah, I don't know, teacher or educator. I'm not sure which is the correct wording here. Let's put both there. Okay, so we have our roles. And if any more roles come up, then shoot me out. And I'm gonna drag fit this to the screen. I see we got a lot of this one. And so what is expected experience and qualification for this role? So what do we expect from coordinator? Or what kind of qualification and what kind of qualification he should have?
Previous experience would be nice.
Yeah, previous works that he or she has coordinated, and the role that we expect from a coordinator is to make sure that every bits and pieces of the project is going on well. Every person that has been assigned a role is doing what he's supposed to do, and then you compare it to the KPIs that is being set to make sure that things are on the right track. That's the role of the coordinator. He coordinates everything under the project.
All. In this scenario, the coordinator actually isn't making sure everything is like under is like on all right. It's the project manager who helps to coordinate team members, and in this case, a coordinator is only the person who connects new proposers and educator or teacher. So perhaps the role name should be a bit different. Student coordinator. Proposer coordinator. Yeah, this perhaps helps to scope down a bit. Else, you're right. Else, it kind of addresses everybody.
Devo, how you gonna prove how you gonna be sure that the person is qualified for that role with previous experience?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good point. And also, isn't previous experience wanted on all of these tasks or all of these roles?
Yep.
So is that expected experience? So yeah, so Kaua has right question. What is the previous experience? What is that previous experience he has to have, which is expected?
As we usually do in Swarm, we track activities and try to use this to prove we have some previous experience. But perhaps a prior closeout report, I really don't know how to, because Catalyst doesn't issue a diploma or something.
Yeah, like I guess the expected experience is.
It sounds better, yes, fits better.
I know. I mean, this is the question we need to ask. Likes to connect with people and keep both parties up to date. So this is what we expect, that he just wants to connect people and he wants to keep both of the people who he connects up to date with the information. For example, I don't. And then gathers information and helps to set the time with the educator. So another, and the all feedback. And so the feedback is addressed. All feedback is addressed. So yeah, that's important, and what gathers information. So functional. Able to set and able to coordinate date and time between educators and proposers. So this is what we expect from them. Then how do you prove that is now all comes down what Afia mentioned before? Like how would you do that if you don't have a socials and stuff? Then I guess in this case, proposer coordinator is in current team is Kaue, and your experience is, yeah, you can swarm coordination experience. So we can see you're like an active member. Active swarm member, and that kind of gives you the experience. Include start years and duration. Okay, active swarm member for almost 2 years. Provide proof. Okay. Hmm. I guess in your case, the videos themselves.
In idea scale, perhaps we could know, because
Yes.
no, I was thinking anybody can just set up a idea scale profile regarding the proof experience.
Yeah. 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 In this case, I think the proof can be actually like a closing report from previous mini proposal workshops, because your goal was to get people into the session, and we have video proof that there were people in the session.
Yes,
So,
that's a logic, the logical way. Yeah.
and for the swarm, I was like wondering if you can start use T-work links. Like, is that the proof enough? But technically, yeah, technically, I'm just gonna go a bit of a tangent here. I'm gonna look at the swarm distribution. And if I put Kaue, yep, you are here. So operations is because I think all of this operation and onboarding, I guess, is related to IDFS host onboarding. Okay, so this is because you were host. Breakout rooms announcements. So I wonder, yeah, if we could use dwork to basically say, hey, this is a task, it was completed, and it was rewarded for doing so. I think even that could be like a proof. And if that could be a proof, this means as a swarm, we can enter into new paradigm of like, hey, like aggregating this information into proof. What do you think?
Like on GitHub, the contribution chart in GitHub, we could do something like that in order to prove the contributions. Let me see something.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna drag down this, and then I'm gonna drag down, so I'm just gonna say closing reports from closing reports and progress reports from previous funded proposals. So this is the proof we could use, and rewarded activities related to operational activities related to
He has
coordination.
Kimball tokens. That's the proof.
Yep. But in the end, it might just that's the economy. Like at some point, people may just start saying that, hey, I have this asset, and this is like it's always like this like a chicken and egg thing. Like, why would we need NFTs? Why do we need reward people or show it that people are doing stuff? This is exactly why we need it to prove people that we are doing stuff. But every time it's like it feels like a waste of resources, but no, it really isn't. It just takes a while to understand how to use the resources we create. So everybody happy with the proposer coordinator? Did we prove that how we can do it? We have that role, and why this role is even needed?
Yeah, we need that role, and then yeah. So far, what we've listed, I think is cool.
Next
Yep.
up, teacher, educator, helps to digest workshops. And so what do we expect from an educator? Able to listen and answer audience questions. And I do it, not sure, but I would expect.
He has to plan. He has to decide and plan what sort of materials he wants to educate people on.
Able to plan how to teach and how to use educational material. Yeah. Then who can do it? Accountable person in this case. By the way, if you are looking this video from the outset and you feel like, God damn, I wanted to do also some proposer coordination, just hit us up and let's think of something. Because this team can scale to 100 people if it needs to, as if you have the passion and you have the interest to help and you have an idea how to help and you are basically qualified based on these metrics we are ideating on right now, then you are welcome to join. Because in the end, the outcome of these kinds of session is a proposal, and the stronger is the team, the more highly likely this will get funded, although the budget will also increase. So that's the only downside of here. But don't feel left out. This is an open proposal for everybody. Back to business. Okay, so accountable person, I guess.
Evo, sorry to interrupt. I hope Tonis will edit this. Remember to say that the template is in the description all the time. Otherwise, people won't click in it.
Cool. Yeah, I guess we have to edit it in because when I demonstrated the chapter, I forgot to mention it. Well, we after we're done with this template, we gonna do a wrap up, and then I can say that. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
So right now I put myself as an educator or teacher. I'm not sure am I doing the best job, but I assume I can do it. More related experience. But that's a weird thing because when I first time did it, I had no experience or qualifications. So, but now I have existing the same as basically.
Otto, actually, you first started experiment with Stephen. So for your first workshop, you had experience, right?
Yes, yeah, I did it before I even had a proposal. Yeah, you got right. And then I got community feedback. Hey, you should do it more, and that kind of turned into proposal. And yeah, you're right. That kind of fed into.
We can use that as your previous experience in that case.
Yeah. And basically, that's why I copied your same reasons. But the proof here will be, same thing, closing reports and progress reports and videos where I facilitate. But this brought up a good point. Like, if you don't have related experience, but this is something you want to do, start doing it, capture feedback, and use that feedback to prove your experience and qualifications. This is how I got started. Anybody wants to add on the teacher educator side something, some expectations or some qualifications or proof?
I think that's it, Steve.
Then educational resource creator helps to make education material more understandable for projects. Reason helps projects able to flow on guides. And so expected experience. If somebody wants to do these frameworks, then in my case, my reward able to use my reward effectively. I think that is. But then again, like, the educational resource doesn't have to be on my reward. So is that then qualification required? This is in case if I put myself as an educationalist thing, then that is something I have an experience. But this is not something we need to expect. So what do we expect? Able to use the material he creates. I guess that's able to demonstrate using material, the created material. I guess that's it. I have no more ideas yet. And proof of experience that I can do it is basically
the numbers of successful proposers that attended to the meeting, to the session.
Link to my reports. And you say, again, basically the videos.
Yes.
Where facilitate basically the sending. Like, a lot of things are going to duplicate here. I'm not sure is it like a bad thing or a good thing. But in the end, this is an ideation board, so even you don't have to write it on proposal twice. But this gives you like a good overview of the information you can put on proposal. Project manager, expected experience. I guess something similar as the coordinator. Likes to connect with people and keep both all parties. So in this case, not both, but all parties. All parties up to date on next activities. I think also all feedback has to be addressed by project managers. So nothing, no stone gets unturned. What else we expect? Like if I wouldn't be a project manager anymore and somebody else would take that role, what would you expect from him? Listens to team members. Yes, if team members have any issues with how the project is moving forward. So he has to be more active, proactive in a sense. Also, I guess make sure the funded proposal requirements are getting completed and reported. Although that can be a copyright. Okay. Accountable person right now. Vioral a little bit. Right now it's easy. We have small 3-person team. Related experience and qualifications. So yeah, I guess the experience again can be shown by our previous activities.
Sure.
But as a project manager, I think it's
But if the guy must report to IOG, we have that IOG spreadsheet that has the name of the responsible coordinator. Perhaps that could track for related experience. I don't know.
Yep. I used that also before, so I can reuse closing reports and progress reports are a proof. But just wondering here, like related experience, like project manager is quite a wide role, and this can be like taken from like my previous, where basically you worked before, CV. Okay, so
maybe if the guy is still in college and has, because I think this must not be look like a barrier for those who are entering, and more like a facilitation.
Yeah, but you don't have to be on work for expected qualification. So this is all what you need to know or have or do as this role. But this on the right side, this is actually about the accountable person, if you have it. If you don't have it, then you include the information, what is needed. And basically, you don't actually fill it up, because then you expect that experience and qualification, and then we leave it empty. But in our case, since we have a current team, we can fill some stuff up. But I wonder, is it related? Like, because I never have worked on like educational or research project management projects. So can I put it in a relevant experience? Probably not. So yeah, let's use existing for now.
No, you have, yes, Stevo, in the Catalyst school.
Ah, yes. Catalyst school members. Yeah. And then Catalyst school Discord. And the proof is Catalyst. But how do you prove it?
Same way,
Also proposals, yeah.
up videos and the reports. And the Catalyst school website, Stevo.
Yeah, but
Which is just putting all together at the end.
I wonder if the Catalyst school website is a proof that I am a good project manager. It just shows that there is a fucking website. Like,
Doesn't it say the Catalyst website? Doesn't give the credentials of the people who are managing it?
no.
Or the other issue is you've done things on there. So if somebody goes and watch them, it's a proof of what you are doing.
Meet our team. There is no team.
They live in the blockchain.
Okay, yeah, so okay, I'm still skeptical that could be used as a proof. Again, then yeah, like it's a good argument, I would say, but if you would look it from the auditor side, it's like, what this is no proof that you are a good project manager. So yeah, then again, but that could be a relevant experience, like updating content on Catalyst school website. But that's not also project manager work. That's more of an educational resource here. But yeah, I guess being a member in like a larger groups, but then you have to prove the membership, and I'm not sure how to prove that. Yes, okay, got the school proposals, videos, and reports there. This is the proof. It's kind of funny that all the proof we kind of start getting is by participating. So your proof is to get funded, but if you don't get funded, then your proof is gonna be always like very subjective, I guess. But I believe we will be able to crack the nut over time when we do it many and many times with people who are new to this. Next one, designer. Creates an eye-catching resources for inviting people. Hello, Kaue. Thanks for eye-catching pictures. What do I expect? Pictures. What do you expect from a designer?
Good hardware.
Do they need
Yes, they
software.
do. Otherwise, they will screw it up. They won't be able to deliver on time.
Yeah. And portfolio
Yes.
of existing work. I think that is something, because
Mhm.
all of that is an assets. Like project manager another thing, what do you can use for proofs are assets. And project manager asset is a proposal itself. Proposals. And yeah, we don't have any business plans or anything like that, but that could also be used. Back to designer. Related experience. So what kind of related experience you have in designing?
Well,
What
I
kind
don't.
of-
This
Yeah, go.
it's that thing. We just go ahead and do it.
What kind of software you use?
Adobe Photoshop, Premiere, and After Effects.
And I think a proof could also be a portfolio of existing work. So when it actually comes down to writing proposal, you just tally up all your pictures you have done. We actually have, this is a different Mira board, never mind. So it's gonna be simple, I guess. Anything else you want to add on related experience or expectation from designer?
No, anything you want
No,
to add?
I guess that's enough.
Yes.
Marketer uses the created resources to make project more visible on many different channels. Another cover. So basically, links to existing invitation messages. I think that's something you can expect, and which you can also use for proving. And then uses different social media platforms. That's something expected. And what's your related experience, Kawa?
What it is, Tevo?
Using Discord, Twitter.
Using Telegram.
Oh, wow. Related experience.
Yeah.
The outcome would be the number of attendance in each session, perhaps.
And then maybe after the sections, what you used your knowledge to do. Your works.
Yeah, this is proof. Yeah, so links to existing invitation messages. Invitation. Oh my God. Please fix it. Thank you. Hey. Invitation messages. Then amount of events where invites were sent by. And then, but this is proof. But what I need is related experience and qualifications. So what makes you qualify for this position? using the Discord with Telegram, and yeah, basically for you it's the same thing. You're doing it for many different groups. Catholic school. Now there we can add Latam. Now you have this like a Brazil thing going on there. So yeah, there is a lot of related experience we could brainstorm here. Video editor, expected experience. I think similar thing, having software to edit work. But what if the person doesn't have the software to edit work but knows how to use it?
He can download an open source, which would be DaVinci Resolve software.
Yeah, okay.
It's an open source. It works. It
Yeah,
do the job.
You take it. So in the end, it still works. What else we need from an editor? Dennis, if you would have that video clip the 3-hour video clip I sent to you, but you are no longer a video editor, but you're a senior video editor, which means you don't actually do the work, and you have a colleague who will do it. What would you expect from him?
Well, I expect him to know how to cut videos.
Know how to cut videos. For me, it's important to differentiate important and less important information, and also able to give a title for a section of video. Does it make sense what I just wrote here? So basically, if
you mean timestamping?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's the same thing. But more like, okay, from here to here, they talk about this. So you kind of, as a video editor, understand what's the difference between this 10 seconds and this 10 seconds. And what is, and also like able to like understand what are the similarities. Like, okay, this topic and this topic was kind of same. And like getting this kind of, so basically he has to be a good listener also, else you can't really do that. This is my assumption, although, because I'm not really an editor, so maybe Dennis, you want to produce stuff. But these are the current stuff. But you also have existing mini proposal workshop experience for over a year. Again, got the schools here over a year. Over a year. What else? What are the related experiences and qualifications? We can use
previous videos.
These are proofs. edit the existing mini proposal workshop videos over here. I actually don't know, is it been a year already, but let's assume it is. We can fact check it later when it actually comes to crunch time. We may actually leave it out the duration. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. Like, you can't really argue with that when you throw in a video in your face, like, show me a proof. Maybe we need to do a document where I come to your house and with the mobile phone and here, in this today is this day, is a calendar, some here is my friend Dennis.
Yeah.
Editing video. That could be even better proof. Anyway, accountant. So make sure resources are distributed fairly. So what to expect from accountant? So
distributed fairly and used wisely.
So someone who is trusted by many peers because he gonna have access to all the money. And also detail.
Be good in math.
And good at. Yeah, I guess this detailed oriented doesn't actually. Good at math is a good point. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Well, right now, I guess I am doing it. And then what relevant experience I have? My God. Well, I'm not really. Other than that, we have distributed proposal rewards before. Distributed several proposal funds. But also created accounting, created treasury system to turn in system created part of Swarm treasury system. And as a proof, I can put Swarm X as proof. Author proposal closing reports. Proof.
Devo, shouldn't we put something like distributing funds if the deliverables were in fact delivered? Something in that sense. That's something that should be expected, right?
No.
Yeah, like he checking whether things had gone on right and giving out the necessary funds to continue the way.
But I wonder, this can actually come down to the way that the team works. For example, in Swarm and here, there is not really a deliverable expected, but it's like continuous payment on a deadline, which I technically suck at. But another method is on deliverable. So it's up to the team basically to choose the, but it's not an expectation, I guess. Maybe Yeah, like maybe there is an expectation of to quickly address financial issues, or like yeah. Let's try to understand financial situation of a project. So when whoever in the team has like a question, then he kind of knows what needs to be done, or where the funds are, whatever. Next one, analyst. Helps to measure and craft constructive feedback how to improve educational resources. So this went back to the educational resource creator, but expected experience. But that is something, or qualification. Yeah, I'm not sure how to you write that. Technically, we can look into that. Expectations are these: preferred skills and qualifications, entrepreneurial mindset with an innovative approach to business planning. In this our case, we do need an innovative approach, but not business planning, but to measure success of workshops. Proficiency with statistics and data set analytics. Yeah, if you're gonna measure, then you want to add some kind of, maybe we should have used that all along. This literally gives us answers. Another point of education, usually don't have to come up with things yourself. Like things have been already taught by very smart people. Just to reuse the data, or the hard part is to find that data. Deep experience with managing budgets, I guess that's not it. The ability to present findings in polished way, and yeah, that's also a thing we would expect. Who does that right now? I think I try to do that somewhat. How I can't say that no, you suck at it, but at least tried.
No, you're great at it.
A related experience or qualifications. So how to prove it? Yeah, I guess again, closing reports are the ones. How do I kind of show it? But relevant experience. No. How do I represent a previous experience? I guess all the facilitation videos again. Okay, videos where I do overviews and recaps. So basically in SingularityNet or community governance oversight, where I do this, like, this is what we did, but that's not really analyzing. That is just aggregating the information, and that's just going like a recapping of what happened in the moment. Well, now OpenTap has like a huge analytic section there. I could use that. Yeah. I'm just gonna write it down. It's not done yet, but by the time this fund opens, it's out there. But I guess I could use another video to prove that I was able to analyze workshop information. Finally, the last one. Let's delete this. Copywriter helps to write proposals draft for submission. So what are our expectations from copywriter? Typos in text. Readable format.
You do what?
Like, what are expectations from copywriter, the person who writes a proposal?
Yeah, we expect. I think this is one of the issues people are afraid that when they put here, we expect you to acknowledge wherever source things are coming from, if that is it, and then make sure you just don't take somebody's material and use without acknowledgement.
Knowledge where the information is coming. It's a good one. And the current copywriter here is another penis.
And again, if there's a proposal that you are looking up to, maybe it motivated you, maybe it would be wise to get the person on board. I don't know, collaboration, sort of collaboration networking.
Okay, so expected to be part of proposal ideation. So basically, the writer himself also is part of the group while they are doing the proposal. So he has the full context where this proposal is coming from. Else he just looks to all of these sticky notes, but he may write a different story.
Yeah. Tivo, excuse me, Tivo and the team. I'm sorry, I'm also part of the Catalyst Con planning team, and we are having a meeting in the next 10 minutes. I want to go over the assignments I was given. So I'll be jumping off the call.
Yeah, no problem. Well, thanks for joining and sharing some insight.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. Thank you too for.
Thank you,
And you can-
Lucas.
Okay. Related experience and qualifications. What we finish as? Well, got the proposal funded. And all proposals got a high assessor score. And proof our proposals. So 3 proposals. Anything else you want to add, Dennis? About your relevant experience in copywriting?
Not really.
Oh boy, well, that chapter or that task took a long time and we are not done yet. So next step is summarize relevant experiences of current team. So we had our relevant experiences were Swarm active members. We have done mini proposals before. We are Catalyst school members. We have experience with tools of managing, basically editing. We have social media tools we're using. We have communication experiences in different communities. Okay, so we have some kind of treasury knowledge, or like a treasury management experience. And we have analytical videos, and we got proposals funded and highly assessed, or well assessed, high scored assessed, I don't know. Okay. So how do we write our summary? With many different communities, and you have done similar work before. I guess that's a summary. One question. Do you think the educational part requires the most focus currently on Catalyst?
Education and perhaps infrastructure, I would say.
Our team is aligned on improving social infrastructure and educational resources. But yeah, no, not to forget. You communicate with many different communities and had done before. Our team is aligned on improving social infrastructure and educational resources. Boom. Summary. And with this, we conclude chapter 4. So what do we did here? Or what did we do here? First, we selected some roles, brainstormed, selected and brainstormed some roles on the table, and then reasoned why we need this role. After we got like halfway in, we opened up the LinkedIn job description site and browsed through different job titles there to see if something is interesting to add. So we did add accounting analyst and copywriter in addition to the existing roles we brainstormed. Once we had a huge list of roles and reasons why we need them, we were ideating on expected experience and qualifications in case we need to change the people who do it, or just setting up the standard or level what will be the expected experience or qualifications in order to have that role. And then we started adding people who are accountable in that position. And luckily, our team or these proposals, we have all the members present who are able to take up these roles. We ideated on related experiences, why do these people fit to these roles, And then we brainstormed on some proof of experience, like how do we prove that we have that experience. And this kind of exercise will give us a huge map of all the feasibility information and a lot of proofs. How do we show that we are the people who can do that proposal perfectly on roadmap? And after that, we slightly went over all the relevant experiences and constructed summarization of our team. And that section may be used in the proposal if that is still there. Next up, any questions? Yes.
Well,
don't forget, these chapter links are in description. Maybe I can say it more better. If you want to see the work at hand in below the video, you will find the link to this Mara board in description. I don't know why I said it in such a weird way, but so another video editor role can have fun here and putting the words in correct order.
Deep fake.
Another thing, it actually took us almost 2 hours to do this chapter. So that has to be kept in mind. That was way harder than I expected. I wonder if it should be like split into that proof and the role stuff like into 2 different chapters, because it kind of went too far and wide. But yeah, that's a topic for another day. We do have 1 hour left, so the next chapter is chapter 5. Do you guys want to take a small break before we jump into it? We had a small break and had a small chat. So we changed chapter 4 into chapter 9 and pulled everything to the left, because if you felt it too, we practically had a team already like doing all the work without knowing the entire project or what it gonna entails. I think the issue came in from, or it's not really an issue. It depends on perspective. Where do you want to solve? At the start, it was like, what are our resources? What are the people who can do the work? And what can we do with these kinds of skills and experiences? But now changing the game up a bit, because we are starting with problem ideation and then you're selecting a problem and then going into solution and thinking what are the best solutions we could do. Once you get your solution done, you don't go into, okay, who are all the people who are gonna do the solution, but let's define the entire project and then start looking into, okay, what skills and roles does this proposal need, and not about who are the people who can do the proposal. So slight changes, you will see in different videos, perhaps some hiccups, but welcome back to chapter 4. So in chapter 4, proposal type and taxonomy. So we explain to proposal readers what kind of proposals are we making, or what you are making. And then and from that on, when a voter or assessor reads it, this is usually like a first paragraph into a proposal, they will have a mindset of and expectation what they're going to read from this proposal, what kind of information they will see, what is the goal of that, and this is going to help to kind of narrate and explain the solution and how it's going to be done, and where the resources will be spent and how much impact it can have. Because the impact for a loan or a product idea or a community proposal or a business idea, they are all very varied. And so yeah, let's dive into ideating on first. What kind of proposal type it could be, the one we're working on. Then we select one, and then we look is why this proposal fits under selected format. So it gives like a formatting idea here, and describe why you have selected this proposal type. So when we select loan, then you explain why this proposal is a loan. In our case, it's probably something like a service offering or a community proposal where we focus on educating. But perhaps there is going to be one day like a standard of educational proposals or course proposals. Anyhow, and once we have reasoned on the type and we're locked in the code, then we also think about what other labels we could add to the proposal so we can relate to the other proposals. So this helps to network and map the proposals in relation to other proposals, and this will help also with the cross collaboration. For example, we have educational resources and we're providing them, and somebody else, another proposal, another side of the world puts also the education in, and let's say there's 1,000 proposals, we probably won't have time or even chance to meet up like on the platform itself. But if you can click on the same labels or what you are providing and then connect with similar proposals, this could already help you to collaborate, create more proposals together, or cross-share some information, or maybe even you have the same modules or same things you both need to do, but only one has to do the asset. So then you even save time and effort. Alrighty. Select or answer what type of a proposal you are making. Are we making a community proposal? I will say because it's an open source, and that's why it's community. Like everybody can use, and then it's shared in community. It starts from sharing in communities. And if it turns into a service or something else in the future, then that's another thing. Any thoughts on here?
So you would say it's not a service yet?
Yes, because we don't. I'm not sure. Does service mean we ask money for that, or can you provide free service? So if in that case, yes, we are offering also a free service to help write proposals, plan them in a way that, and also we are offering service, but then we're still, I feel like we're offering service to the community because our audience is Catalyst community, and that community is defined by the people who want to write the proposal to Project Catalyst. And then the problem we have is that all of these people who want to write a proposal, many of them get funded, but over half of them don't finish the proposal. They don't do closing reports. They are not ready for what is actually expected from them, or actually what are they expecting from themselves. And this method helps to kind of write down that like a Yeah, actually, this doesn't even matter that the method helps to, but it's another option for the people to make a proposal, which in later, after getting funded, they actually are delivering, and it gets like a check mark for the entire Catalyst community to understand, this was completed, this is how it went, and this is how we correlated to like related to all the other proposals. Because one thing I'm still looking to see, or like hoping to build, is like different people doing proposals, but they are all working together. So we already see this happening through like community infrastructures, but we could do it for all these business ideas too, like all these entrepreneurs who come in and they say, we're gonna create this product, this service, and then different other proposals could help, whose purpose could be to help to make this business or this product reliable, and then actually come out with like a closing report.
I
yeah.
think it's a service that we are providing to the community, but when you say service offering here, I think that we would be charging someone specifically to have a specific session.
Yeah, I had the same thing. Oh, what did you say that we have? Because we should actually come up with our own type. But so you say let's just community service. So these two are different.
Sounds like something from the court.
Okay, thank you. How would you call that then? Or justice?
Service.
Or support service?
Community, yes, provide support service. Fantastic.
And yeah, I'm gonna also, because every element we gonna add here and we ideate. Another thing, like where I try to, what this kind of thinking about categorizing and like formatting your, what is your type of a proposal. The more we do it, the more proposals we start doing it, the better map we have of things, what people do, what they offer, what they want to work on, what they are passionate about. Making money. Okay, but
shouldn't we say it can be not free but community funded, also free, but and then make the proposal self-sustainable as they are discussing in the town hall? Or you think it doesn't matter? To have this start or free or community funded?
Yeah.
Search for this self-sustainable treasury.
I'm not sure. Like what I am, the first idea is that if one thing what would happen, but probably very hard to happen, is that somebody else finds these Mara boards like usable, and it just joins in any of the sessions, or maybe cut this town hall and say, hey, oh, you wanted to do this idea, or you're pitching this idea, but and then you just ask the question of what type of your proposal is, or what type of idea it is. And that's already kind of doing it. And it's not really, it is somewhat a service, but then is asking a question always a service? But then looking at the lenses of, okay, now you're a proposal assessor, and you come across this proposal. Previously, you had some business ideas. Somebody wants to sell honey, one wants to make NFTs, one wants to like a marketplace, and then you have thesis Spark there with his loan again. And then now comes your proposal, and you see this kind of idea of making workshops and creating educational resources. What kind of proposal it feels like? If I say educational proposal, it feels like this. If you read this proposal, you're getting smarter. You will learn stuff.
And hopefully get funded.
Technique. Yeah. Yeah, we can make a proposal which is not the proposal, but the guide into the proposal.
But that is also educational.
Yeah. But now I still feel like this is what we are as a team, we offer. Yeah, educational proposal. Like that. No, I don't know. That's a hard one. Like the category would be obvious, education, but what would you call that type? Or maybe it just is education. But then it's like education of what? And
Community development support, Stefan. Perhaps something like that. Not the best name, but
community development support proposal. Proposal writing support for communities. But that's like, this is why. Yeah, this is a reason. Yeah, another exercise perhaps should be here that it, in order to make sure it's not doesn't get out of hand, it should be like 1 or 2 words. But then I will still start to think about that this is a community proposal. You go more detailed, that it's development and support, and we could also say we are supporting in proposal writing, but then we're just adding more detail, but in the end it's still under the community proposal. So this way the type of a proposal stays like a high level, and when you compare other community proposals, you will be able to leverage each other, because we will be. Some has a different education, maybe teaches Bluetooth code or teaches drawing or like media, but it can be still all connected, because yeah, community proposal also assumes like a community standard, and our standard is an open source. So it may be open source community proposal. But now we're adding just too many of these. But that's great because this segues us into the labels, and yeah. Do we want to have some voting here, providing, or let's just go with the community proposal? Because this is right what now I thought, like it's a good high level category, but maybe there is something else that we should add.
I like the community proposal.
All right, let's pick this up and let's move to the next step. These I'm gonna delete because these we didn't use, that kinda used. Describe why you have selected this type of proposal. Why is this proposal fits under the selected format? So why is mini proposal workshops a community proposal?
Providing educational support, open source educational support. It needs to get better. It's kind of awkward, that answer. Providing open source. Great.
This proposal provides open source educational resources and social infrastructure. And by social infrastructure, I mean we do workshops, coordinate workshops.
Miro boards.
Oh. What other labels you would add to the proposals to relate with all the other proposals? So yeah, proposal writing, open source. I'm not sure. Then support service, I don't know. Oh, events or something like that. They are somewhat events. Or workshops, like something which aggregates all of that, and our event type is workshop. What we also provide are not well, this is a workshop what we are doing, but yeah, I don't know actually. I was thinking that we have
Modeling, proposal execution modeling, or something, a better name.
And that feels like you have like a detail under some kind of modeling. Yeah, basically like yeah, of course. education. But we have also an example from a few funds ago. What were the top like labels used? So token, DEX, lending, assets, project catalyst. Yep, that's a good point. Let's connect us. Although it's not, it doesn't have to, but it has like a very huge implication to how Project Catalyst is going to have an impact. Wallets, identity, NFTs, the Oracle infrastructure. Yeah, so social infrastructure. Legal environments, social marketplace, gaming, healthcare, a bit of gaming. I'm gaming how to write good proposals. But, like, what are the questions we should ask ourselves in order to do a proposal which is doable? Data, Africa, Europe. It is a lot of data here, but I guess research. I think research is a strong work of us, just educational research. Maybe I should, or I'm not sure even how to. I just keep more 14. All right, so this was exercise of defining a proposal type and doing some taxonomy and labeling work for the proposal. What's the keywords? How it's gonna hashtag out of your backyard? Yes, I forgot to mention. So what we did here. So in this chapter, we ideated on the given resources and then looked into what are we actually offering, and we stick with the community proposal. So this is going to be a community proposal we're doing, and why this is this proposal provides open source educational resources and social infrastructure. And then we looked also into like other key labels or you would add to your proposals in order to connect with other similar proposals. Yeah, so proposal writing, a bit of events, a bit of modeling, a bit of research. And with that, we completed chapter 4. Details in the description. And this exercise took us 30 minutes. With this, our session ends.